Hi, I'm Rachel, welcome back, and in this video I'm going to be talking about astrology as a tool for reconnecting people with their own original soul's true power and energetic potential for this lifetime. Now, I know that astrology scares people shitless, and there are lots and lots of reasons for this. But it's also the same reason that you can get really, really excited about it. And that's because astrology is a great equalizer. Astrology cuts through the story that says we are not equally valid, worthy, and powerful, because we are equally valid, worthy, and powerful. Each person gets a time of birth, a date of birth, a location of birth, a birth chart, and a soul. You don't get more than that. You don't go, I'm better than you because I've got 2 times of both. No, you don't. Okay, we are all actually, the same. We all got born into this one body with our one soul, and we come with a birth chart. And that birth chart contains 10 planets and 12 arranged across 12 signs, arranged across 12 houses, which denote the areas of life. So it's a great equalizer. And that can be quite scary to some people, and it can also be super exciting. Now, it does scare people to come into contact with their own validity, their own self-worth, and their own power. And it's also wonderful. However, when you see the truth of yourself, it can also send you into like a mini or minor depression. And this is completely normal, because what's happening is you're grieving all of the times before when you didn't know how amazing you were. And you have to grieve all of that. And that's what makes people feel low. Now, if they gaslight themselves and say, oh, well, I've got to be happy all the time, then that's just nonsense. They're just applying a layer of nonsense over the top of the truth of being a human being. Because you are a human being, and you are also a soul. And it's like you've got this human self coming along that may have loads and loads of human traumas to work through, okay? And I know that, I say that, having been a human being who had a lot of human traumas to work through, I cringe with embarrassment looking back at myself, and I have to keep going back and forgiving previous versions of myself in order to show up for who I am now. Yeah, because we're constantly evolving, constantly changing. We all have a lot of veils that have been placed upon us and layers that we have to get through in order to come into contact with our true human self and our true soul self. And it's like you've got this human coming along, like, you've got all the conditioning of all what your parents told you to be and believe and how they made you feel, and the same goes for community, school, any organisations you were in, just the environment, basically the environment of your micro, family, community, and then there's your nation, and there's the time that you incarnated in. There is so much. And there is always something to tell you how to be. And when you're a child, you're kind of going, okay, like, how do I be? What is this thing? How do I go about life? So you're absorbing all the time what people are telling you, and that's how you're learning. And then you've got your soul going, hello, do you remember? Remember me, don't forget, along the way. And of course you've forgotten, because it's like, you're just busy being the human that you're being conditioned into being. And we each have different layers of how badly or not badly that affected us, okay? And you know, if somebody tells you something for long enough, you start to believe it. So if you have heard things about yourself, you end up believing them. And then it's like a matter of going, examining, is that right? Is that actually me? Is this something I need to take off as a script that I've been handed? And what astrology does is it helps you remember the truth of who you are on a very deep soul level, because it is literally a roadmap for life that came from your soul's original intentions at the moment of your birth. It's like that moment, that glorious moment that you chose to incarnate into your own expression of your whole body and human self in this lifetime. It's such an amazing, powerful, miraculous thing that happened. Really, truly it is. And astrology helps put you back in touch with your true soul's self, your true power, your true knowledge and self-remembrance of who you really are and what you came here to do and be and say and bring, and all of it in every area of life. So it's not just one thing. It's like, whoa, how did you want to show up across all areas of your life? It always calls you to remember who you are. It's a deep call of remembrance. And that brings soul confidence. When you show up in your soul's true confidence, you get the permission to go do, be, say, show up as the soul in this human incarnation that you agreed to be. And it's just so wonderful. I love seeing how people respond, and after a reading, the action that they go and take is often beyond their wildest dreams. It's way beyond what they thought they were going to get from their reading, because they suddenly go, oh my God, I remembered me. And they get to show up as their true soul self, and they're radiating something. As they're doing this, they're radiating it. And other people are validating them and hearing them and seeing them in a new light, and they're like, yeah. And it has that positive, amazing effect because it's truth. It's not positive because you're just talking positive language. It's because you're truly emanating that truth of who you are. So if somebody's design and true soul self is to actually be quite affronting or activating, or to call something out, then when they show up in that power, other people go, whoa, yeah, because something feels really true about it. Yeah, so it's not that we're all, we're definitely not all the same. Definitely not all the same. And if it shows you your true power and gifts and helps you to clarify the nature of your true soul power and gifts and what you're meant to be doing, how you're meant to be speaking to people, how you best show up in your true light, and often it's way more powerful than you have been. Yeah, because remember, we've all kind of been squashed into this box of sameness, and it's okay. We can just forgive those previous versions of self. We can move through it. We can move on, okay? You get to see what good, positive embodiment, alignment, decision making in your life looks like for you. Not what somebody else says you should be doing, but what it looks like for you when you're in your soul truth. Yeah. And if you think I'm kidding about any of this or exaggerating it, ask yourself whether it's because there might be some fear that I am telling the truth. And it might be a bit scary, because if we do have free will, and we do have that much power, and we do all have our gifts, and we can all find our truth, then you kind of run out of excuses. And I think that's actually more of a real blocker than people will be prepared to admit. It's scared of our own power, scared of our own success. And the persecution wound is very, very real. It's very real. And it will look different for each of us because we each lived a different story across multiple lifetimes, many different stories, sometimes the same story many times over, in different lives and different incarnations. Okay. If you have complete free will and you have a powerful soul, then is it not also true that everything is within your control and command and power and mastery? Maybe that power feels scary, but maybe it's just because you've not claimed it fully yet. If you would like to have an astrology reading and be put back in touch with your own soul, truth and power, you know where I am. Just contact me at the details below. If you liked and found value in this video, I would be so pleased if you would like it, subscribe, share it with anybody who you feel will resonate with the messages as well. Thank you for watching.